how much of a threat is the Death Star to us? You may think there's next to no chance that the Earth could be zapped by a cosmic death ray, but the threat is real. Now, I'm not talking about Darth Vader's Death Star. I'm talking about the result of two of the densest stars in the universe smashing into one another and producing a death ray that could obliterate our planet from thousands of light years away. A literal Death Star. Technically, these two colliding stars are called neutron stars. Stars that are on the verge of being black holes, and they do not die quietly. Initially, they spin around each other before colliding so powerfully that they disturb space-time itself, causing ripples through it called gravitational waves. Then, the remaining dead star's body beams these death rays in narrow beams along its poles. So, important question us Earthlings should consider is, well, there's three situations to consider. First, our planet could be outside the beam. In this case, we do not feel the effects of the death rays whatsoever, when we feel the tremor of the gravitational wave as it passes through the planet. Otherwise, we could be within the beam, but still far enough away that we can only detect the death rays through a blip in our detectors. But lastly, we could be within the beam and too close and our planet's zapped to oblivion. Luckily for us, this third situation seems highly unlikely, due to both the vastness of space and also the fact that we're still alive today. So, I hear you cry, tell us, scientists, tell us how long we think we've got. Well, to be honest, we really don't know. We don't even know how wide these beams are, and this is very important because the wider the beam is, the more likely we could lie inside it, and therefore meet our demise. Until recently, we only had these blips in the detector to try and work out how wide the beam is. But now we have a secret weapon, the gravitational waves. These are good for two reasons. First, we can use them to measure the angle we are from the center of the beam. And secondly, and more importantly, we can measure them even when we're outside the beam. So if we combine these blips in the detector with gravitational wave measurements, we're able to deduce how wide these beams tend to be over a number of these collisions. For example, if we measure both a blip in the detector and a gravitational wave, then we know we're inside the beam, and the beam must be wider than our angle from the center. If, however, we just measure the gravitational wave and no blip, then we know that we're outside the beam, and it must be narrower than our angle. It's just a counting game. So, if we all make it to the end of my thesis, I hope by then to give you a better guess of how long I think we've got.